Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, by popular requests. Well, popular request in the classical music business means maybe two of you. Yes, a review of this new recording of Liszt's Faust Symphony, featuring the Weimar Staatskapelle, Staatskapelle Weimar, actually, if you want to be technical about it, under Kirill Karabits. Now, the Staatskapelle Weimar was, of course, Liszt's hometown team. Can you imagine being a normal orchestral player auditioning to perform in the Staatskapelle Weimar and being told, well, you realize, of course, that this was Liszt's hometown team, so you're going to be spending most of your career playing lots and lots of Liszt. Oh, boy. I don't know if that's a turnoff or not. Liszt is not the easiest thing to do from a performer's perspective, although I must say the Staatskapelle Weimar certainly does things besides Liszt. But they got to do Liszt, and they do Liszt very well. And they really do. And this is a very, very fine performance. It's quite a bit better than the Dante Symphony that was released previously, although the Dante Symphony, that's another video, right? So, how does this Faust Symphony do? Well, the Faust Symphony, unlike the Dante Symphony, kind of works. As long as you keep it moving, it works. What is the problem with these pieces? I was thinking about it while I was listening to this, because it's really a very good performance. It's shapely, it's exciting. Karabits knows how to generate some tension and excitement without vulgarizing the music. Gretchen, the middle movement, which is always a problem because Gretchen is very sweet, sugary sweet, sometimes saccharinely sweet. I mean, he really has just almost an ideal tempo. It's 18 minutes, and it flows along just beautifully. A central section is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. At the very end, she's thinking of Faust. The tune comes back, and it's just so charming. You want to just die. And then Mephistopheles is terrific. The final chorus is very well done. The tenor solo, and who is the tenor solo? Do they even tell us? Yes, it's Iram Hernandez. He's very good. He sounds terrific. I mean, it just really works. What can I say? But the problem with the Faust Symphony, and this is really a problem, I should do a repertoire video about it, except what I would wind up saying is, they're all pretty good. And the best is Bernstein, Boston, and that's that, right? Maybe I did a video about it. Who knows? Because I think I talked about Bernstein and Boston, but that's not the point. The point is that Liszt was never a tunesmith. His most tuneful music is based on other people's tunes, like the Hungarian Rhapsodies, or things he could borrow and snatch, the opera paraphrases and stuff like that. But when he had to use original thematic material, he wasn't that good at it. He didn't really write themes or tunes. He used ideas. And those ideas, this is a perfectly legitimate way of building large works in large forms. I mean, if you're not writing extended melodies, it's based on shapes, or texture things, or a sequence of harmonies. I mean, this is a case in point. I mean, it really illustrates his strengths and weaknesses, because the Faust theme, the opening theme, which is famously 12 notes and all that stuff, 12, it's very chromatic, but it's also very recognizable in its shape. And so when he plays with it later on, you can always tell what's going on, and that's terrific, but it's not really memorable. And because it's highly chromatic, because Faust is tormented, he's a very chromatic kind of guy, it gives the whole piece a sort of grayish cast. But then he understands he needs contrast, and so there's a noble Faust theme, da 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 da. It's incredibly memorable. However you want to do it. And it's really catchy, and you get to hear it like 1,000 times. But the problem with that is he doesn't know what to do with it once he gets it. The opening idea, da-da-da-da-da-da, very, very catchy. It's nice and diatonic. It's triadic. It gets stuck in your head. It's wonderful. Then he has no idea what to do to follow it up. The sequence that follows it, who knows what it does? I mean, do you remember it? Can you hum it? You can't. What you remember is da 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 da. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 notes. That you remember. It's not a theme. It's an idea. It's a motive. And so you've got that motive. And it's okay. And the same thing with Gretchen. Gretchen has these lovely, you've got the solo string bit at the beginning of the movement. You've got the flutes and oboes doing nice little diddly things. And you've got that gorgeous section in the middle with the harp. It's wonderful while it's happening. But Mephistopheles, when you get to Mephistopheles is supposed to be mocking those themes, or some of them anyway, the Faust themes most of all. And you hear, when it goes da-da, you know that he's making fun of da-da, do-do-do-do. I mean, it's very clear. And some of the other bits too. It's okay, but it's still kind of hard to wrap your brain around because they're just not distinctive enough. It's not like the Symphonie Fantastique, where you have this long extended melody that appears in various transformations between each movement. And you can really, really sink your teeth into the transformations that Berlioz rings on this particular tune. Doesn't work that way. Liszt doesn't operate quite that way. And so it's a problematic work. Once you know it, if you really take the time to listen to it, it will sink in and you'll be able to follow it. And it works. I mean, it's ingenious. It's really a brilliant piece. But you've got to give it time to sink in, and you've got to give it time to have that somewhat neutral, thematic material start to take shape in your mind so you can follow its evolution throughout the work. And I'm just saying this performance does that very well. It allows you to follow it very well. It's very well recorded. It's by Audite. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now you also get, this is a little deceptive. It says here you get the Mephisto Waltz. Well, you get a Mephisto Waltz. This is actually the third Mephisto Waltz. There are several of them. There's also a Mephisto Polka. But anyway, the Mephisto Waltz number 3, which is orchestrated by Alfred Eisenhower and Kirill Karabits himself. And it's oodles of fun. I mean, as you might expect. It works beautifully. It's just a ton of fun. And then there's this thing in here. This is interesting because it's not on here. But there's a thing in here called Grajina that showed up on my when I downloaded this so I could listen to it, in addition to listening to this, I could play it in my what you call it thing, my phone thing, I thing. And Grajina is not, I don't think, by Liszt, and it's not here on the disc. It only has 5 tracks, but when you download it, you get 6. So I have no idea what that thing is. I'm not even going to worry about it. I mean, it's just kind of an anomaly. I mean, it's nice to have, whatever it is. Anyway, here you get it. If you get the CD, you get the Faust Symphony and Mephisto Waltz number 3, 77 minutes and 51 seconds of lively Liszt, and you can't go wrong. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.